Let's talk about removing crochet hair today and all the different methods, all the different ways. Let's learn how to take it out. I've been to myself, just me lately. I don't need a lot. Hey you guys, Shanice here. Thank you for stopping by my channel. So as you've seen in the beginning, today is a request video, okay? And it's not just her. Shout out, sis. I appreciate you for commenting, and absolutely let's get into this. But a lot of you have asked me about how to remove crochet hair, especially being that I love to secure my hair. So let's just talk about it. Every single method, every single knot is all taken out the same way. Okay. Now, this is not by any means a dumb question. I remember when I first started doing crochet hair, my first loose hair crochet install, it was atrocious. It was terrible. Okay. Terrible. But, you know, I kept at it and I got better at it. And I think I'm pretty good at it now. But I do remember sitting there defeated, swearing to myself that I would never install crochet hair again when I was trying to take it out. I didn't know that I needed to cut the length off. I didn't know what tools to use. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. And there was no video out there that told me how to take it out. Now, yeah, now there's probably tons. There probably are. Who knows? But back then, there were none. There were none. It was all about the brand new crochet method. You know, at first, when crochet first got on the scene, it was the little tiny braids. You remember the little crinkle braids? And we thought we were doing something with the beehive, you know, braiding pattern. But, you know, when the loose hair crochet method first came out and it hit YouTube, there were no videos on how to take that shit out. And I was devastated. And I swore up and down that I would never, ever do it again. But in my stubbornness came triumph, because I figured this shit out. It was like one day I just had an epiphany, like, it's synthetic hair. I'm not going to use it again. How come I don't cut it? Why don't I cut it? So I tried it again. And sure enough, it worked. That's all you're going to do. Even when you're securing your knots, you're still only cutting the length of the hair off. It's synthetic hair. You're not going to reuse it. You're not going to reuse it. So what's the point in having it, right? So let me just show you. So what we have right here are some old knots that I did on my last video, or maybe the one before that, who knows, where I showed you these different knots that you can create, and basically just trying to encourage you guys to think outside of the box when it comes to doing your crochet. So with those knots, I'm gonna cut the length of the hair off, get in the mirror, cut it off. If you have a significant other, if you got a child that's, you know, at least 14, you know, 13, 14 years old, whatever, that you trust with scissors, you know, just cut it. Just cut it off. Get in there with a hand mirror and get in front of your bathroom mirror and just cut it off. Now, after you cut it off, you're left with the little knot, and you're just going to pull it off. Now, if you can't pull it off like that, you can get a rat tail comb, and it'll help. Like, you know, use a rat tail comb to reach underneath there and get it. And even so, like, there's no uniformed way. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way to do every knot the same. Like, you just pull it out. Just pull it out. That's it. You see, I get the rat tail comb, get underneath that knot. And then if you need to be able to see, as long as you are sure, because we now did it. We now cut some of our hair before. We now did it. If you've been a crochet braid, babe, it's like a welcome thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're in it now. You cut a little bit of your hair. But in most cases, you don't. Just make sure, get in the mirror, make sure that your braids are still secure, that they're still intact, and that none of your hair has came from like outside of the cornrow. And if that is the case, if everything's still secure, then just cut the hair. Cut the synthetic hair. You see how I'm pulling it up? I think on this one I ended up cutting some of that out of the way. Like once I start pulling it up, I know that that's none of the hair that's coming from the mannequin. All of that is the braiding hair that I installed. I'm going to cut it out of the way and continue to pull it out. That's it. And this is fairly complicated in comparison to if it's a regular knot. You know, the regular knots we do in the back and where nobody sees or whatever. That's so simple. That was just like the first one. Just cut the length and pull it off. Secure or not secure, just pull it out. But then see, you have that and people will still continue to try to pull at it and whatever. Just cut that off. Cut it out of the way and then continue to pull until it comes out. You see? That's it. And then I was trying to figure out, sis, which knot you were talking about. I'm gonna be honest with you. So we're just gonna do all of them. And then I do think that I also in this video show you one of my old methods just to make sure that you weren't talking about that too. I wasn't sure specifically which one you were talking about, but you know, we just gonna do it all. Just take it all down. Because like I said, the method, it applies to all of them. Just cut the length of the hair and get underneath there and pull it out. And if something's stuck, as long as you know that your hair has not came outside of the braid, cut it out of the way and keep it moving. The one that you were talking about in the back where we had pulled, I think that's one that you're talking about is this one where we pulled the hair from the back and pulled it up. Like just take the knot, you know, cut the length of the hair off and pull it off. That's it. As what our cousin America said, that's all. That's it. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's simple. But I get it. I get it. That's still a very, very good question if you are not familiar with crochet braids. And so also I'm going to be using blonde hair. I'm going to use straight blonde braiding hair because one of you asked me to use a contrasting colors when it comes to my demonstrations. Good idea. You're absolutely right. I was just using what I had on hand, but I went to the beauty supply store and grabbed some blonde hair for all of the demonstrations that I have coming up. And then somebody asked me to use straight hair. So I grabbed straight hair instead of curly hair for all of these demonstrations coming up. So we have straight blonde hair to, you know, hopefully that'll help. I'm sorry for the background noise. It's raining and now the motorcycles coming by. Like, you know, they love to wait until I record to want to do stuff. But anyway, let's get back into the video. Okay, so there was a video that I put out. I think the video probably 4 years old now, but it resurfaced when Mary Kay Bella seen it and made a video about it. And shout out again that I ain't gonna start crying. Anyway, y'all, if y'all watching this, then y'all know. Anyway, appreciate you, girl. So in that video, I was doing a method that I used to create my hairline, or my illusion hairline, basically. I don't use this method anymore. I don't. It's older. I won't say that it's flawed, but there's just better ways of doing it. However, at the time, I was excited. It does work. It is easy. But I've just found more beneficial ways of using the needle and using hair to benefit my install, you know, in a greater way. So I don't use this method, but some people still do, and that's okay. That's cool. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. I love that it's helping a lot of people. I'm going to show you how to take it down because I never showed that. And I do it two different ways. Right there, I'm just putting it in and then I'm going to take it out. And then in a minute, I'm going to put it back in and I'm going to put knots on top of it because, of course, you know, you do this to create the illusion in the front, and then you just tie it off in the back. And then you go back and you install crochet knots on top of the cornrow, you know, to create your parts and whatever. And so I'm going to show you, you know, how we take that down. But essentially the main part is you're just going to cut it. You're just going to cut it and take it down. You know, like I want to be long-winded and make this video 30 minutes so I can show y'all about 5, you know, commercials and I get some money for it. But honestly, that's about it. You feel me? Like that's it. But anyway, let me just show you. So yeah, I'm just going to cut the length of the hair off. You can do that in the back and in the front if you want to. Right here, I just did it in the back. Of course, if we did the install and did the illusion in the front, it's going to be a bit more teased in the front, so it's going to be harder to pull it out that way. So in that case, we just work from the back and pull it out that way, and it's easier. That's pretty much it. So let me show you with the knots on top of it. So here I am just putting some knots on top of the cornrow, because essentially that's what we would do. The cornrow would be filled with knots, and I did a regular crochet knot. That's the first one, and then on this one I'm doing a double-sided knotless method. That's not my knot. That's somebody else's knot. And somebody just told me that I thought it was I think you call it something like that. I'm not sure. I'm sorry, sis. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but I thought it was her method. But then somebody else gave me a method and gave me a link and said that it actually belonged to somebody else. And then I clicked on or looked up that person, and that video was older than the other one. So honestly, I don't know whose it is. Okay, it ain't mine. Okay, that's not mine. Not anyway. Here I'm just making a mess. Basically, I'm teasing it. I'm not creating static. That's not what we're doing right here. I'm just making it seem like she done had this hair in for a good 4-6 weeks, and it's been through the ringer, and she slept without her bonnet on, and all of it's teased, you know, just giving it some wear and tear, basically, to create, you know, the issues that we might have if we had installed this hair and we wore it for our 4-6 weeks, 8 weeks or whatever, and now we're trying to take it down. So that's what I'm doing there. Just teasing it for example purposes. And then girl didn't want to sit still. Like, girl, like my mama said, hold your head, baby. Hold your neck. Act like you got a bone in your neck. She didn't want to sit still. But anyway, so we're going to take it. We're going to cut the length of the hair off still. That's all we're doing. And these just some regular beauty supply store, hair store scissors, $4.99. No, they ain't great. But they cut, you know. But once you cut a couple strands, you got to get you another one. You know, I buy them 2 at a time because they ain't worth nothing. For real. I had one good pair, and anyway, I ain't got no more. But yeah, so I'm still just cutting the length of it off and then just pulling the hair out. That's it. That's all. Just pulling it out. Even the one that goes underneath, just pull it off. That's it. And if I needed some help, then I would use a rat tail comb. But that's literally it, you guys. Okay, so I hope that this video helped. I hope that this answered all of your questions, sis. I really, really do. I appreciate y'all. Any other questions that y'all have, please put it in the comment section, because again, I am going to make these request videos. Also, just a spoiler that I do have some courses that I am working on. I'm super excited about. It's going to be super affordable. And so, yeah, I'm going to do an introduction video soon for that. And I am hoping that you guys come out and support me on it, on these online classes. Anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. I've been to myself, just me lately. I don't need a lot. I've been to myself, just me lately. I don't need a lot.